welcome back to the game room. It is day 9 of the 12 Days of Christmas, and I'm stoked that you're here because we are talking N64 Loose Cart Storage. In Christmas of 1996, I unwrapped my brand new shiny N64, and ever since it has absolutely been my favorite console. Yeah, the graphics didn't age all that well over time, but back then it was the best thing around, and because it holds such a special place in my heart, I am collecting a full North American N64 loose cart set. I do have some games complete in box, but it's a little pricey to go for a full set that way. As the collection stands today, I have a custom set of shelves that should hold the entire loose set once the amiibos are pushed out of the way and everything's in its place. And I've got 227 games out of the total North American 296 set, so just 69 games away from a full loose cart collection. One of the biggest issues, as most N64 owners know, is that the carts have a severe lack of end label, making them really hard to identify from their sides. Unless you're going to store your carts face on, it becomes pretty challenging to figure out which one is which when you're taking them off the shelf. That's where these end labels come in. These are actually ordered from a website called Etsy, although you can find them on eBay and a lot of other spots. They come in a variety of awesome colors, so you can sort of customize them to your own liking. The end labels are great, but I wanted to take this just a step further since I'm gonna invest in the entire set, and I started grabbing up these really nice acrylic loose cart protectors. These aren't too poorly priced, and you can find them just about anywhere. I know Amazon has them. The last batch of these that I got was from there. I have purchased them from eBay in the past, and you should note that they're not always going to be exactly the same dimensions. The most recent batch that I got off Amazon does stand just a little bit taller, maybe a millimeter or two more than the ones from eBay, so if that's something that's going to bug you, try to have a consistent source for all of the acrylic cases that you buy. These are the most recent games to come into my collection, and yeah, it's time to get some inventory started. So here's what I do with my games when they first come in. First step is I add any new game that comes in into my collector's app, which is CLZ Games. That gives me an idea of the value, and it allows me to track which cards I have and which I don't. It also lets me know if the cart has a manual and case with it as well. In this case, we're just going to be entering in loose carts. I usually pull stickers off that are just from the store that resold it. So in this case, these 3 games actually came from my brother-in-law, so big thanks to Andrew for hooking me up with these. He bought them from a Facebook Marketplace seller for a pretty good price and brought them to me just a couple of weeks ago. I usually leave any stickers that came on the carts from rental stores like Blockbuster or other convenience stores, especially if they're over that front label artwork. That sort of thing doesn't bother me too much because it's just a little bit of a story about where that cart's been. Now, unlike other people, I don't like to put these end labels right onto the N64 cart. The reason for that is I want that genuine experience when I take these out of the box and stick them into the console. When I was a kid, there was no end label on the top of that, and so, well, it's cool to stick an end label on there and have them stored on your shelf so that that end label is visible. I've got them set up in a different way completely. I like to stick the end label right on the edge of the acrylic protector. It looks really great there as long as you can get it centered up, and you know, I can still identify the carts on my shelf as they sit the same way as if the end label was stuck to the cart, but in this orientation I can actually save a little more wall space because the carts are going to be sitting down the way they normally would if they were inside the console. The bonus is when I take that game out of the acrylic protector and stick it to my console, it still looks exactly the way that it did back when it came from the store. These end labels are really great too because if you're not using a collector's app, the sheets function as sort of a wish list. Any stickers that are remaining on the sheet are games that you don't own yet. $227 loose carts for the North American set, and they're all up on the shelves and look great. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today on day 9 of the 12 Days of Christmas. We've got another one coming your way tomorrow. Thanks so much for all the likes, comments, subscribes, all that great stuff helps my channel grow. I appreciate it, and I will catch you on the next one.